One of the core gameplay mechanics in teamfight tactics is managing your economy. Economy is arguably the most important resource in the game aside from HP, as you need a strong economy to buy units, level up, and have a fighting chance in the late game. Managing your gold comes with the important questions of rerolling. Even a lot of experienced players struggle with these. When should I be rerolling? How far down should I reroll? What's the difference between slow rolling and hyper rolling, and what builds should you be slow rolling and hyper rolling in? Here I'm going to be answering all these questions and more so you can have a better grasp on when and how to reroll in TFT. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps out massively, and with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. In TFT, there are 3 things you can spend your gold on: buying experience to level faster, buying units, and rerolling the 5 units that you have the option to buy at any given time. By spending 2 gold to reroll, you get a chance at seeing 5 other units you can buy each time you reroll. Different builds in TFT require different units, as each unit's individual traits synergize differently with the other units in the game. After each round, the 5 units you are given the option to buy changes automatically. A lot of the time in game, luck is just not on your side, and you are not presented with the option to buy the unit or units you are really looking for. Rerolling works to take some of the RNG out of getting the units you want at the cost of some of your gold. Since it costs gold to reroll, you are limited in how much you can reroll, as well as having to weigh the option of rerolling for units or spending some of this gold on leveling up to stay on equal grounds with your competitors. Rerolling and leveling is a balancing act, and hyperrolling and slow rolling has benefits as well as their share of drawbacks. In earlier sets pre-set 6, hyperrolling was a very strong option to get a top 4 finish, but with changes to the rolling odds, it is not as strong of a strategy anymore. With that being said, there are a few builds in set 6 where it is still a viable option. In set 6, most comps that rely on 3-starring low-cost units now use slow rolling instead, but you can choose to hyperroll here to create a very strong early game comp and attempt to snowball into the late game. Some of the builds where this is viable is Mutant Protector and Academy Assassins, as the build carries are 1 and 2 cost units. To understand how this can be a strong strategy, we need to talk about what hyperrolling even is. In short, hyperrolling is spending most or sometimes all of your gold around stage 3 by rerolling. You are doing this to 3-star your main carry for the build, as well as many other 1 to 2 cost units as you can, as early as possible. There are a ton of risks to this. One of them is not having the champion pool needed to get your unit. Before starting to hyperroll, you will need to scout your opponents early on. If your carry is going to be units such as Twitch or Katarina, you will want to make sure there are no more than a few of these units already being used by other players. As more and more of these units are on the board, fewer and fewer of these units will be in the champion pool, making it less likely for you to come across these units while rerolling. Once you have done the scouting and committed to this strategy, here's what you're going to want to do. Throughout stage 2, spend no gold on leveling and save up as much gold as you can. Only buy the core units of this build you're going to be using to maximize the amount of gold you have when you begin hyperrolling. At round 3-1, start rerolling, using all of your gold for 1 to 2 cost units you need for the build, especially focusing on your carry. If you 3-star your carry before running out of gold, stop rerolling immediately. If you have any of your carry's items, you should put them on them now. Use this strong 3-star unit to win streak up to 50 gold as fast as possible to get your economy back on track. Once up to 50 gold, you can start slow rolling to 3-star other 1 and 2 cost units. If you do not know what slow rolling is, I will be covering that in the next chapter in this video. At stage 4, round 4-2, you will be 8 XP away from leveling to 6, as long as you spent no gold on leveling. If you were unlucky and were not able to 3-star your main carry, or are missing some essential units here, you can reroll down to 8 gold looking for them. Use this last remaining 8 gold to buy experience twice and level to 6. You will need to be level 6 here to keep up with your opponents. By stage 5, you will be in one of 2 situations. You will either be set up for a top 4 finish or about to be dead. This is the risk you are taking when hyperrolling. If you are still alive and kicking, congrats. But now it's time to focus on the endgame. Right about now, most of the players' remaining team comps will be about the same strength as yours. From here on out, you will be playing the mid-game and endgame fairly standard. Focus on saving up your gold and making sure your economy is strong. Then level up to 7 when you have a good unit to put in. Continue to save up gold to reach level 8 and complete your build when getting the best items you can on your secondary carries and tank. Slow rolling is a far less aggressive version of hyperrolling, with a lot less risk. Many builds in the set 6 meta, like Yordle, Mutant Protector, and Chemtech Innovator, are slow roll builds, so it is important to know how to execute this playstyle. This strategy takes a slower, more steady approach to getting 3-star units and has the benefit of not completely ruining your economy. Instead of spending all of your gold rerolling units early game, you instead save up to 50 gold first to get the maximum amount of interest and only use excess gold above 50 to reroll for units. Like hyperrolling, slow rolling helps you get very strong low cost units early on in the game, but at a slower pace. Slow rolling also has one of the same drawbacks as hyperrolling. Since you are spending all your excess gold, you will generally be a level behind the rest of your opponents. However, the goal of slow rolling is to get a strong comp early on that will allow you to win streak and catch up on levels later on in the game. But when should you slow roll? You should slow roll when your build focuses on a 3-star 1, 2, and sometimes even a 3-cost unit. If your build relies on a few 5-cost units to be strong, this is not a build you would slow roll in. Instead, you would focus on a fast 8 playstyle instead. Let me know down in the comments if you would like me to do a video detailing the fast 8 playstyle. So now the big question, how do you slow roll? In stage 2, unlike in hyperrolling, you will want to be picking up other cost-effective units as well as the units for your core build. Some of the best cost-effective units to pick up are Kassadin, Ezreal, Blitzcrank, Singed, and Zyra, as they provide a lot of damage or tankiness for just 1 or 2 gold each. Picking up some of these extra units that are not in your core build will keep you from getting to 50 gold as soon as possible, but it will pay off in the long run, as it will make your comp stronger and therefore keep you from losing as much health early game. Once you get above 50 gold, you can begin slow rolling. Pure slow rolling means that you spend no gold on buying XP, and only spend gold on rerolling and units. That will be the quickest way to get the units you want, but if you find yourself falling too far behind in levels, you can buy some XP here and there. As you play more slow roll builds, you will get a better idea of when you should only be rolling and when you should be buying some XP. Everything I just went over is for slow rolling for a 1 and 2 cost carry. If your carry is a 3 cost, your playstyle will look a little different. With the way rolling chances are set up, at level 7, you will have the highest probability of getting 3 cost units at 35%. So if your carry is a 3 cost like Malzahar, Heimerdinger, or Lysandra, you will want to focus first on getting to level 7 before you start slow rolling. Your early game will be the same as before, but once you get to 50 gold, you will be using excess gold above 50 to buy XP. You will keep buying units you need and XP with gold above 50 until you reach level 7. Once at level 7, just like before, you will be using excess gold to reroll for your 3 cost unit. If you are lose streaking to level 7, you may start to get very low on health. If this is the case, you may need to start rolling for your 3 cost units at level 6 instead of 7. At level 6, you have a 30% chance of getting a 3 cost unit instead of 35. This means you will likely need to spend more gold rerolling to get 3 cost units you are looking for. In this situation, you will want to roll down to 40 or even 30 gold to try to get your carry and secondary carry up to 2 stars to stabilize. After you stabilize, you will want to save gold to get back up to 50 gold, then start leveling up to 7 while staying above 50 gold. Now you can continue trying to get your carry to 3 stars and play the rest of the game normal. Slightly off topic of this video, but there are a few tips to keep in mind when rerolling late game. When rerolling for a specific 5 cost unit, there are a few things you can do to change the odds to your favor. With only a 1% chance for a 5 cost at level 7, you should never be looking for a 5 cost tier. At level 8, you have a 1 in 20 or 5% chance of rolling a 5 cost, and at level 9, you have a 15% chance. If you have the gold for it, you absolutely should level the 9 first before you go searching for 5 costs. If leveling to 9 is out of the picture, there is a helpful trick to help you get the 5 costs you need. While rerolling, pick up every 5 cost unit you can, even if it's not the unit you need. This will decrease the champions in the 5 cost pool, therefore making it more likely to see the unit you need. If you run out of gold, you can sell a 5 cost unit to have enough gold to reroll again, and keep doing this until you either have no 5 cost units to sell, or you find your unit. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of what hyperrolling and slow rolling is, as well as when and how to use it. The more you try slow rolling yourself, the better grasp you will have on the playstyle and when to deviate. If you made it this far, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and other TFT guides. Also let me know what you think down in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.